Since I was here last, Joe and I put out a brand new record in April of last year, an album entitled If I Could Change One Thing. Thank you both. It was a different record for me to make. Usually in the past I would go in and I'd record whatever 12 songs I was playing live, whatever I was, particularly excited about. But the writing for this record sort of never stopped. I found myself, before going into the studio, I found that I had written about 100 songs in preparation for this record. I can assure you, about 80 of those songs really sucked. Quite a bit. But what was interesting is, as I was sort of selecting the 12 to make the cut, was I kept finding that this thing had been elbowing its way into my songwriting throughout the year, despite my better judgment and all good intention on my part. But what kept poking its way through in the writing was my life. And something that took some adjustment during that period of time was my parents split up after being married with each other for 30 years. And I'm 27 years old now, so I don't claim to be an adult, but I dress a lot like one now. And I think it's different to have your parents split up at this age than if you're a little kid. Maybe not better or worse, just different. For me, it kind of felt like I started building my life on these truths. Like, I started building my own life on these truths, like the sky is blue and the grass is green and your parents are together. And then all of a sudden, one of those truths just comes out of alignment. And it took me a little while to realize that the sky is still very much blue. And one of the ways that I sort of cope and heal is through laughter and through irony. And I found a lot of irony in my parents' separation, starting with the fact that my dad got issued divorce papers. It just happened to fall on their 30th wedding anniversary. So he had dinner reservations that night, and they went out to dinner. I refer to this as the Last Supper. And I'm at home with my little sister at the time, was 17, and I'm thinking to myself, what do you say? Like, how does that conversation go? About an hour and a half after I asked myself that question, both my parents came back into the house, and I heard exactly how that conversation goes. Now, several years later, they have each individually found they've found an incredible amount of happiness in their lives once again, and they're doing great, and they're some of my best friends. But even as happiness entered their lives once again, for me, I had a hard time with that dinner. I had a really difficult time. It was as if like animosity came in all of a sudden. I didn't know what to do with it. So I decided to write a song, write my version of how I wish that dinner could have panned out. Mostly just because it's way cheaper than therapy. It really is, time and time again. And I think it's an Ellen DeGeneres line, but why should I pay somebody to listen to me talk when you find people will pay me to listen to me talk? It works out just fine for all of us.